Hi guys, Man United fans need to pay attention tonight because this conversation changes everything around INEOS, the manager, the fans and what's actually going on. I'm sure a lot of you guys that watch the press conferences, and if you look at 2 weeks ago when we were signing all these players, there was Adam Wharton was on the table, Elliot Anderson. Now we all know we're not going to get all those players. There was the guy that's just about to join City, and then there was players leaving. There's been for months. Kobe Mainoo has been leaving. He wants to. United have always said they're not going to sell him. He wants to go on loan. Napoli want him. United won't give him to a Premier League club, of course. Why would we? But let him go and let him play some football. Kid deserves it. He should be playing at United, but that's another subject for another day. Xerxes, Roma a deal agreed, a £5 million fee, 30 million obligation to buy. Personal terms have agreed. All this. The manager comes out with a press conference today and says he doesn't think any player will leave. That not one player has knocked on his door and said he wants to leave. Ruben Amorim is an extremely confident manager. We all know this. Win, lose or draw, he is confident. He's confident when he brings a centre-back on at 87 minutes. Who knows? He's concentrate when we're losing a match, and he decides to change the whole defence and leave a striker and not touch a striker. He's a confident person, confident manager, confident in the way he speaks, and that's it. I mean, Fabrizio Romano has actually come out today and stated that Ruben Amorim has said, and he has told the board, so that's Fabrizio Romano in the industry of football journalism, is probably, him and David Ornstein, the most well-respected journalists we have when it comes to quotes and players and transfers. And he has said that Ruben Amorim has said to the board, no, they're not coming. Why you would keep a player like Kobe Mainoo? You are in essence, as a United club owner, you are stunting his growth. 18 months ago, he was playing in the European Championships final. He didn't even start that tournament, and after one match, he made himself the starter in central midfield with Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham. That's how good this player was. He won us the FA Cup. I'm not turning around and saying he's going to be Paul Scholes. He might only be Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford is still the 11th all-time goal scorer for United. Whatever people think about it in a few years' time, I think they'll realise that he had a good few years and he did okay. And luckily he's doing really well at Barcelona right now. But this press conference was a manager that was starting to get that look, the look that Ollie got, and the look that Ten Hag definitely got. When they know, and they're not quite sure they believe. And it's scary, and it's also, I'm not a Ruben Amorim fan. I'm not. I liked him at the beginning. I was all like, this is the guy, he's the new energetic coach, he's going to save us, he's going to be the one. But when the way he started to treat a lot of the younger players, because it's not a United thing to do. Bearing in mind, United have had a lot of players over the years, Chris Eagles, Luke Chadwick, they've played a couple of times for the club and they go on and they make the club money. A bit like what City do. City now are brilliant at it. Oscar Bob, he plays 10 times, they'll get 30 million from him. What I mean is, this is what happens. So you always treat youngsters good, and the reputation of playing for Man United, sorry I've got it today, the reputation of playing for Manchester United does carry you a long way. But the way we're treating them, if you think back to, I mean, I wanted Garnacho to go, absolutely. Rashford, I believe he did a great job when he played well for United, but I believe his time was up. But you think the way they benched him and sent them to isolation, I mean, you probably took 5-10 million quid off their asking price. If Rashford, what's he got? the most assists in European football. I don't know if that's true, so don't quote me. But he's got something like 13 assists, 7 goals, 20 odd goal contributions, and he's halfway through a season. If he hits 40 and they sign him for 25 million quid, that's a player that was worth 80 million not 2 years ago. And he's in his prime at 28. And we all know Rashford's prime can be, oh, I'm not going to play next year, I'm not going to bother. But what I'm saying is, Garnacho was a 50, 60 million pound player a year ago. And he had a falling out. And sometimes your business head has to come on. This looked like a manager that was defeated. He looked like a manager that knew his job was on the line. He looks like a manager that does not fancy the Leeds game. As a United fan, I was looking back on the 2-0, the 4-2, the 5-1 games today when I was looking at highlights on YouTube. Actually, United Leeds, if you look on YouTube, they're great highlights to watch, remind you of the old days. You'll enjoy it. But I'd go and watch his conference. And if you don't watch his press conference before, I'd watch his other ones. His ones against Newcastle, his ones against Villa. When he comes out, and I'd watch this, and he's like, well, and he's like this, oh. He looks like a man who's had a fight with his wife. Now, where I really think INEOS comes under pressure, because the Glazers move is brilliant. It's give us a couple of billion quid, 1.5 billion, and you run the club and you take all the blame. This is his guy with a win ratio of 39%. I know I say that in every video. It just blows my mind that you can have Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at 53, Ten Hag at 54, and this guy at 39. And somehow this guy is the worst. Doesn't get fired, but he's INEOS's guy. But when you are so close and you look at how the fans are now reacting, I'm sure you've all seen that viral video of them really, the Stretford end really going at the fans, and Cunha kind of pushing back, and he's probably because he's never felt that kind of that United heat that you get when you go to Old Trafford, because United fans are very supportive. Not the social media fans, but the ground, the people in the ground, home and away, they're very, very die-hard. And I think INEOS are looking at, we can go and spend 50 million, 60 million in January, which we don't normally do, and try and get us into a Champions League spot. We are so close. I mean, we should be there now. If you think about, if we'd have beaten West Ham, Everton and Bournemouth, never mind Wolves. I mean, we'd be next to Villa. We'd be in the league race. We'd never win a league, but you know what I mean. And I think that's when sometimes the ruthlessness comes in, and you know the old saying of pride comes before the fall. And I think this is Jim Ratcliffe's pride standing in the way of his fall, because he's got a manager of 18 months. And the same things that was said about Ten Hag. Oh, you had all this money. Ruben Amorim's had all this money. A lot of it. And not only is he making the players that he had beforehand worse, he's making the players he's bought worse. Besides Mbuemo, but if you think of Cunha last year or Sesko last year, Sesko last year, go and look him up on YouTube at what he was doing. Cunha, we all saw what he was doing. I watched a man the other night was trying to beat every player on his own. Didn't want to pass the ball. And I think it's pushing them. Or you look at what Chelsea's done, whereas they're very close. Chelsea are all about margins. They're all about profitability. They have to be in the Champions League. Excuse me. And so do United. United have to be in the Champions League. I mean, absolutely have to be. Two years, not have to be, Europe at least. 2 years without European football is an absolute financial, existential crisis for Man United. And that backs INEOS in a corner. Because it's very clear to say, I'm not going to name managers. There's a video, I'll link it afterwards. There is a video you can watch where I've put the bookies' favourites. And yes, Gareth Southgate's in there. And yes, nobody wants him. And yes, the man's a walking moron. They've somehow got a knighthood. I mean, totally off boil here. I'm a huge golf fan. Rory McIlroy did something this year that he's unheard of. Somehow didn't get a knighthood. BBC Personality of the Year. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Crazy for me. Crazy. And I think this decision, if they keep Amorim, unless he beats Leeds, beats Burnley, and he doesn't get spanked by City, obviously beats Brighton, and he doesn't get spanked by City, yes, he can turn it round. And deep down, of course, I want him to turn it round. But Leeds away now is not a game it was 2 years ago. That Daniel Farke, I mean, fair play to him, he has turned it around. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to do a short video because I found the press conference so fascinating. I really did. Tomorrow, I'm going to do my preview video. I do thank you for the people that have watched it. It's really hard growing a new YouTube channel, so thank you for the people that have watched the videos. I very much appreciate it. If you could subscribe, that'd be great. That'd be appreciated as well. If not, it's okay. But I think we're in for an interesting weekend. Go, guys, anyone who sees this that hasn't seen the press conference, go and watch it. Yeah? Right. Take care. I will see you on the match preview tomorrow.